Hello, it's Mark Atwood here. Mark Atwood Show, Adventures of the Cosmic Suits. Are you fat? You feeling fat? I was very fat a few years ago. I mean, I know I'm not exactly Mr. Skinny, but I was like 18 stone. About how long ago? 10, 11, 12 years ago. I tried everything. I went vegan. I built vegetable patches when the lockdown started because I thought I've got to grow our own food. And then I met these guys. Well, in fact, the story is there's a very good friend of mine who I really liked, who defriended me on Facebook in 2016 because he thought I was insane. And then he got in touch and he said, I've met these other people who've written this book called The Revolution, Red Pill Revolution. And Mark, you might have been right. That's right, Ben. I'm going to make you eat humble pie. And then I met Phil Escott. And Phil Escott was a bodybuilding vegan who had crippling arthritis. And he solved this by changing his diet. Now, the most controversial stuff I've ever talked about on this show is about to happen again. So if there's any vegans out there, toddle off unless you've got a questioning mind, because you have to look at the results. And it's not just about food, but I'm going to get Ben and Phil on to tell us what this is about, because it's very, very important. Hello, boys. How are you?
Hello, mate.
We good?
Thanks. Yeah, great intro.
Always good to see you, Mark.
I have no idea where my energy's come from. I've been at it since like 8 a.m. I've just finished dinner, just washed up, just been to the shop and got here just in time. But it's good. I think it's the salt water, to be honest.
Yeah, you never know.
Well, it charges you up like a battery. It's brilliant. You know.
Especially when you're not eating that many carbs.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
And I just had chicken, just pieces of chicken tonight.
Cool.
It was very nice. The chicken didn't like it, but I did.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's a little joke for all the people saying, don't kill animals.
It was beyond caring, I think, by that time, Mark, don't you?
Well, I'm just a little bit wound up today because Chris Sky posted some stuff. I put it in my Telegram channel because this war on meat that's going on right now is really a war on human beings, because they're trying to create, Bill Gates trying to create meat grown in a lab. Sadiq Khan is saying he wants all meat banned by 2030. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
You know, this is an attack on the human, and it's going on all over the place. And it's an attack on the human race because they want us weak.
This is why we're doing what we're doing, and we're getting so wound up about it at the moment because it's got to stop. Our kids can't be eating this crap. They can't be brought up on cricket flour and Beyond Burgers. The vegan agenda has got to stop. I mean, we've been through it before, and every time we come on, you get vegans coming up saying, well, you terrible, meat eater, you're never going to ascend to 5D. It's killing all the animals. And it isn't. We've been through it many times before, but the vegan diet condones the killing of tons of animals, way more than we do. But it's part of the agenda. One thing that we've been finding recently, which is we found really our niche, which is the people who've woken up to everything else. All the manipulations of the elites, all of this crap that's going on, all the pharma companies nonsense, all of this genocide that's going on. They've woken up to all of that.
But not this.
But not this.
I know.
Because
they've been at this for so long. That's why.
Yeah.
Five a day. Have your 5 a day. Have your 5 a day. If you're watching this, if the government tells you to do something, do the opposite.
Yeah,
exactly.
When you watch the WEF video and it says, you will own nothing and be happy, and everyone goes, oh, and then they'll say, you will eat much less meat for your health and for the environment, and people go, yeah, sounds reasonable, Klaus. You
will eat much less meat.
Sorry. Yeah,
somebody's going to be racist now.
Go for it.
It's an impression. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's amazing. One thing we found recently, but I mean, Ben and I did a talk live a little while ago at New Horizons, and we went at it, the food conspiracy, showing people exactly how we've been fooled down the ages, from religious and spiritual factions, from corporations trying to control us, from all this kind of thing, taken away from our ancestral diet. And it was really interesting at the end because it was a very awakened crowd, and there were a load of vegetarians came up, didn't they, Ben, at the end? And they said, look, we've never thought of that before. We've been down every rabbit hole, but you've made it clear. Now, yes, there are a couple of militant vegans in there who've gone a bit too far, who still didn't believe us. But it's amazing how the vegetarians come across who haven't got this sort of moral superiority about their diet, which it isn't a diet. It's just a cult. It's a dangerous genocidal cult. But you know, we've got to be. We've been polite. We've been more polite on this show before, but fuck it now. You know,
I've had enough because I just get abused every time I even mention the subjects, and I'm just like, fuck you, I can't, you know. And then somebody, I went on the Richard Vos show the other week, and I was reading the comments, and somebody went, "Yes, I used to like his stuff," and suddenly started to talk about eating animals, and then I went right off him, and I went, "Oh, fuck off! I can't be done with it anymore. I don't do this to be popular. I did this show to find out the truth, to spread the truth, and to try everything that I possibly could to improve my health, the health of my children." And I can categorically say, going carnivore 18 months ago, got rid of my carpal tunnel syndrome, all the aches and pains in my body, at least 2 stone in weight, and no arthritis whatsoever anywhere. It's incredible.
I know. What's so weird for us is that you get these kind of attacks saying, "Oh, these dirty carnists, and they're doing all that, and you're going to die of heart disease." And yet, look at our inboxes and look at the comments on our Big Fat Tribe and whatever, and Big Fat Challenge. This has gone. Diabetes has gone. I've lost loads of weight. All my joint issues have cleared up. My autoimmunity has cleared up, you know, which I've got personal experience of. I mean, I'm still alive. I'm 61. I haven't eaten a vegetable in 8 years now, over 8 years, coming up my 9th year now. And nothing has happened. I've cured everything that meat and fat is supposed to cause. So I'm absolutely sure of this. And I've seen it in thousands of people. You know, I've got, I think, the biggest UK carnivore Facebook group now. I've got the biggest YouTube channel, carnivore YouTube channel in the UK.
All right, Phil, get your penis off the table. What are you doing?
Because we see it all the time. We're still shadow banned, still small compared to the American ones, but it's growing. I only started that for about 5 people, and it's grown to like 20,000 or whatever. And so we see this. It's not like,
it's happening.
We're outliers, you know, we're outliers or whatever. But yeah, the challenge has been amazing. The results we've had have been wonderful. We've got some people waiting, I think.
No, we're going to bring them in a minute. Did you want to say something?
Mark, also, if you go on Google Trends and you type in vegan diet and then you type in carnivore diet.
I know, it's like what's going on.
Yeah, in 2017, nobody was talking about carnivore diet. Nobody was searching for it or anything. It is now more than twice as popular a term as vegan diet. And the vegan one is
results
on the decline.
It's because of the results. I mean, when I taught the States last year, the amount of people that came up to me and said, "Have you seen my new body? Thank you so much for doing that course with Jeremy." And I was like, oh, "That's great." And they were like, they all looked amazing. Anyway, we've got some amazing people on here because I always think, forget what I've got to say, forget what these two have got to say. Let's see what happened to some of the people that have taken the Big Fat Challenge recently. So I'll just bring them all on really quickly, and then we'll go around and say hello to everybody. So here we got Emily. Hello, Emily. Oh, you're in the dark as well.
Hello.
Can't see you. How you doing?
Dark.
Paul and Sue. How you doing?
I'm
Paul
good, thanks.
Sue? Good. John, how you doing, John? Yeah. Senior. Got it. I know her, and she is half the size. Sue and Paul. Did I just take them out? No, did I just put them in? There's a lot of people in the dark here. Get some lights on your faces, please. We need to see your faces.
It's a circadian rhythm, you see.
Oh, well, yeah, I know that, but this is just like half an hour. Come on.
That's all I can get.
It's not going to destroy you.
Yeah, I've forced myself to put a light up here at the moment. I'm looking forward to switching it on red and, you know, chilling out. More to it than diet, but yeah.
There is. So let's just quickly go around the table and say, John, where are you from? Why did you join? And what's it given to you so far?
Hi. Well, I'm from Shrewsbury, and I didn't actually join the challenge. I met Emily, and introduced me to the guys just as she pretty much finished the challenge and the tribe was coming into place. I'd been ketogenic for 7 years, and then during recent times, I'd started learning to trust my gut feeling. So when I met Emily and she said, "Have you heard about this carnivore?" I thought, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think I'll do that instead, and ditch the rest of the vegetables, and at the same time join the tribe, and we sort of bounced a lot of ideas off each other. It's been brilliant. It's been an absolute pleasure.
And what kind of results have you got?
Well,
I think, can I ask everybody to mute except John, just because we're getting a bit of a feedback issue here. Paul and Sue. Oh, hang on. Sue and Paul. Are you the same? Oh, that's why. You've got two things on.
We have to have.
That's it. Problem solved. Well, no, I can still hear myself. Sorry, John. Please mute.
To take you through a brief history. I was I trained as a personal trainer and absolutely adored the nutrition phase of the course. And then a very old friend of mine from school, who I knew had been clinically obese for probably 10 or 15 years, suddenly started doing. He'd been out for a walk. He'd been out for a bike ride, and on social media, I could see his times because he was wearing a smartwatch. And the difference was my friend was now suddenly doing something. So I invited him for a visit and took him out on a bike ride, just mainly to talk to him. And turned out he'd been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. He'd done a search online and found the Noakes Foundation in South Africa, and through that was planning to cure his diabetes. I very wrongly at the time told him how he was talking absolute tosh, and told him how the energy systems in the body work based on the old thinking of the food pyramid. And after he'd left my house, I felt a bit harsh. So I contacted him and said, "I tell you what, Neil, I'm gonna switch to your diet for the next 6 weeks." During that time, I read Tim Noakes' books and a lot of other stuff that I came across, and then was pretty convinced that ketogenic was what the Western population ought to be eating. And then it was 6 months ago, perhaps, that I finally heard about carnivore. Funny part being, you mentioned growing vegetables in your garden. I'd literally just signed the contract on a new house and had gone to a lot of trouble to find a garden that was big enough to have a vegetable plot, and then heard about carnivore and went carnivore, and it's now going to have grass on it because I don't need the vegetables anymore.
Not going to have sheep and cows.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? But ultimately, when I switched to ketogenic, I was fit and strong. I did not realize the amount of extra body weight I was carrying. I carried it well because I'm tall, but ultimately I stripped body fat, probably went down from about 22-25% body fat to about 14-15, and then sat there for, if I occasionally weighed myself or checked my body fat for the next 7 years, I was almost always bang on the same, and I was almost always about 15% body fat. And then I hit carnivore and immediately stripped off some extra body fat, and then during the carnivore time, then ditched dairy, and that was it. I'm down to about 10% body fat. I just sit there all the time. I feel strong. I don't have aches and pains that I used to put down to years in the military and doing lots of outdoor pursuits, and you think, oh yeah, well, these aches and pains are down to abusing my body as a youngster, and it's just old age, and that's tough. Well, it's not tough. I've fixed all those things. I feel as strong as I did when I was 20, and I advocate this diet to anybody.
Yeah, I've been doing the same thing. Why am I hearing myself back again? That is so.
Must be coming from John's phone.
Must be coming from John. That's better. Thanks, John. I was at a retreat at the weekend, and there were two lovely people there with cancer, and they were munching on the vegan food. And I was like, "Don't say anything, Mark. Don't bite your lips." And I was like, all weekend. And then they finally came and started asking me questions, and I said, "The problem is you're not giving your body the building blocks to recover at all, and you're actually hurting yourself." And they were like, "No, I don't believe in eating animals." And I was like, "Well, what can I do? What can you say?" I mean, you've been in these situations before, Phil, or no, definitely, haven't you?
Yeah, totally. You know, because of being ex sort of vegetarian and vegan for 30 odd years and writing books on it, and I come across a lot of vegetarian and vegan people, and it's sad to see their decline. I've lost so many friends, vegetarian friends, who sort of went vegetarian through the transcendental meditation movement, you know, which is why I did it. You get caught in that funny old spirituality that's completely misinterpreted. And I've lost so many. Yeah, cult. Yeah. And I've lost so many to cancer, autoimmunity, all kinds of stuff, heart disease, and they're not eating any meat. So what's going on there? It's not the meat. And yet the people who drop all the plants out of the diet, you know, I mean, in the challenge, we'll go deeper into that, but the amount of plant toxins, we're told that leafy green veg is healthy. It's not. I've been there. I've had the kidney stones. You get oxalate poisoning. All the things that we're told are really healthy are absolutely trashing us.
Well, let me just, they are, right? And I want, if you indulge me for a minute, because this is something that hit me a while ago, and I went, oh my goodness, and I just want to share it with everybody, because this propaganda has been going on, as I said earlier, it's been going on a very, very, very long time, and I think it started with this.
It's marketing, isn't it? Product placement.
It was back then. Eat the spinach. I grew up thinking spinach made you strong.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's the worst.
I often say that they never followed Popeye later on when he was screaming in agony with kidney stones. You know? They didn't do that.
Exactly the same today, though, aren't they? You know, oh, sheets are Weetabix.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Shredded wheat makes you glow in the dark.
That's ready bread.
Oh, ready bread. That's it. Yeah.
They never had Popeye goes to hospital or anything like that in the comics.
Popeye gets crippled with arthritis.
Yeah. Well, there was something going wrong a bit with his arms, wasn't there? What happened to his biceps? He had these ridiculous forearms and no biceps. There was some body composition issues even back then that nobody spotted. And olive oil, his missus, was definitely vegan. That was a vegan body.
Olive oil. She was very, very skinny. I'd be scared of breaking her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But the deep down, the myth below all of this stuff, you know, they tell us that we should be eating, you know, a quarter of your food should be grains, a quarter of it should be fruit and vegetables and stuff like that. But beyond the 5 a day, eat the rainbow, all of that crap, there's this very, very deep belief that we've been fed our whole lives. Plants,
see what he did there.
Fruits and vegetables are actually healthy. They are the healthy option, and the bottom line is they're not. No. They are not species appropriate. So one of the things, you know, we go into we love exploring this philosophy of stuff. And one of the lines that we've been exploring recently is this: when you look at the way that nature works, and we're huge believers in nature, because nature tends not to screw things up, right? But the vegans and the vegetarians and the WEF think that nature's done such a terrible job at maintaining life on Earth for however long it's been here. We don't know for sure, and has just been waiting for some nice white folk to come along and just improve on it. But nature's perfect. Nature creates amazing abundance, multi layers of beautiful species within species, you know, wherever you go. And so wherever you have land, you have plants growing most of the time. Wherever you have plants growing, you get animals that eat the plants, because life works through the cycling of energy and the cycling of nutrients. All the energy originally comes from the sun. And wherever you get animals that eat plants, you get animals that eat those animals. Always, on the land, in the sea, wherever it is. That's how nature works, right? And what we talk about in the Red Pill Food Revolution, the really profound atrocity that's being carried out against humanity, which you started talking about at the beginning, Mark. It's not just that eating plants makes us less healthy, that eating plants makes us more dependent on their pharmaceuticals. Eating plants is more profitable for the big corporation. All that stuff is true. But the real atrocity here is that what they're saying to us is that you have no place. You are the bastards of history, right? The illegitimate offspring of that whore Mother Earth, right? You don't belong here. That's what they're saying to us, you know, by saying that you can identify as a herbivore. In fact, you should identify as a herbivore. They are going against humanity at the most profound level, because where we sit in the web of life actually defines where we belong in many ways, in at least in 4D, in this universe. And what they're saying to us is no. Nature doesn't want you. Nature never wanted you. And I think that is an extreme crime against the human soul.
I agree, 100%. Let's pull in somebody else to chip in. Emily, say hello. Go on, you can do it. Can she do
You're
that?
muted, Emily.
She's not now.
Am
There
I
you go.
unmuted? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
I had to
you.
do it for you.
Yeah, sorry about the lighting.
That's all right. Where are you from, and what made you join the course, and what is it like, and what have the results been?
Yeah, so I've been carnivore about a year, and I joined the Big Fat Challenge last January. So I was already been carnivore a bit, but I was really interested in it. So I signed up and met a load of really cool people and learned a lot of other things besides carnivore.
Yeah.
So, once you start to question what they tell you to eat, that opens up the floodgates to questioning everything, literally everything. So it's been quite a journey. But what a great bunch of people. And it's, so I'm in the tribe, Big Fat Tribe, which is ironic because none of us are fat anymore. But yeah.
Rename it the skinny fit tribe.
I know. And it's like we've got each other's backs. So we have Zoom calls and we have a WhatsApp, and we sort of look out for each other, because it can be quite a solitary place, I'm sure you know, when you question everything in a mainstream, when everything around you and all the normal people that don't see it like you do. So it can be quite solitary. So to have this tribe and the Big Fat Challenge has been amazing for me. Yeah. And we had a meetup. So we all got together and just...
A meetup? I mean, the jokes tonight are fantastic.
Amazing carnivore food, mostly prepared by Ben's wife, Sally.
She's a great cook, Sally.
Yes.
But she stopped making pies now.
That was amazing, and there'll be more of those as well.
She still teaches pies, yeah.
She still her pies are fucking amazing.
But I love hearing about people's healing stories. So we get more people coming on the challenge all the time, and sometimes on the tribe as well. And you get different stories, different healing journeys from going carnivore. And so I'm learning all the time. You learn from different people, you can share with different people. So as a result of all this, I've started up my own channel, stream, social media, Carnivore Charisma.
Fantastic. That's great. That's brilliant.
Spread the word, Carnivore Charisma. And also we have little challenges now in the tribe. So we might have let's give up coffee, or let's see the dawn every day this week. So it's great. It's like a tribe, and it's really good. Yeah, I love it. And I've got loads healthier. I've tweaked my carnivore to what I call optimum, which is similar to John. So I cut out dairy and caffeine. And yeah, just the last few inches sort of went off my waist, or centimeters or whatever. And it just feels stronger and fitter and leaner. So you can sort of keep tweaking it. And yeah, that's my story, really.
That's amazing, Emily. And I'm really, really happy to hear that you started a channel, because I've been banging on about people getting on YouTube and stuff for 3 years since I started this channel, because we need more. The more voices, the better. So well done.
It's so brilliant. We love it when we see people go on and do that and pay it on. It's fantastic what Emily's doing, what Sina's doing. But just to come in here and say that.
Sorry, before you do that, what's the channel, Emily?
Carnivore Charisma. And it's on TikTok, Instagram, there's a Facebook group, and I've just started YouTube Shorts. Carnivore Charisma.
Right, I'm just going to pull that up for everybody, because I do like to promote people whenever I can. And
Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Phil.
No, that's cool. That's
I want to
cool.
make sure we didn't fly off on a handle and I forgot to do it. So here's Emily showing you how carnivore has made her strong. This is great. This is just great. This could be a whole new career as well, Emily. I don't know what you do for a living now, but this is the kind. These channels are blowing up.
Yeah. I train. I'm training as a forest school leader, so kids all sort of come together. It's similar sort of stuff. Yeah. Brilliant, amazing. Come on and talk to me about forest schools at some point, because it's a big passion of mine as well.
Excellent. Some of the things that we see, with some of the people maybe from the States and whatever who weren't able to make this call, but and privately, we see the reversals of things that people just don't really believe. And some people believe that diabetes is not curable, but and cancer. You see the work of our good friend Zofia Clements of Paleomedicina in Hungary, the incredible results they have at fixing cancer. Absolutely beautiful results on an absolutely completely meat-based diet, no plants at all. And we've got some great stories. I mean, Paul and Sue here, they have some wonderful stories. And Paul, it's lovely to see him on, because usually we hear him chatting in the background, and we persuaded him to come on and have a chat today. But if you're ready now for that, Mark, have a listen to Paul and Sue here, because
I'm just trying to unmute them.
There they go.
Better? Can you hear us?
Hello, Paul and Sue.
Hi, Mark. You'll have to excuse me because I'm on the corner of the table and I keep getting nudged at a camera.
Yeah, we joined the challenge back in January, but saying that, I've known Phil on social media for years, and always kind of be flirted with keto and carnivore, been in and out, but a lot of external pressure not to be carnivore was quite heavy.
Where from?
We're from Birmingham.
No, I mean, where was the pressure to not be carnivore?
Where was the pressure from? I beg your pardon. Pressure for just family, life, work. I'm a nurse. I work in the NHS.
And the food there is shocking, right?
Yeah. Well, the shock. Yeah, you don't eat any NHS food. No. And we went through obviously nearly 2.5 years, 3 years of COVID. So there was pressure from all sides, really heavy. But the turning point for us was when we saw the Big Fat Challenge sort of being promoted just before Christmas. I'll let Paul tell his own story, but my weight was just going up and up and up and up, and my, as you say, joints aching, feeling really crappy, having to get bigger size work uniforms. It felt like every week. So we decided we're going to jump in. So we decided, we'll do this. So we joined the Carnivore Challenge, and it's been wonderful. It's the step by steps. We had challenges every week. Like first, give up seed oils, give up coffee, and every week there was something, and there was the videos and the audio book, and it was just so simple. And we've not wavered at all. We've just been on 3 weeks holiday. Okay, a few naughty things crept in, like a vodka and coke here or a pina colada, but overall I came back and didn't put 1 ounce on, nothing. Weighed when I got back, didn't put any weight on. So and it's just that like as Ben calls it, the hive mentality. We all support each other. It's such a brilliant group. And Paul reversed his diabetes, but I'll let him tell his story now. But I can't recommend it enough. So off you go.
Off I go. So my tale started in 2017. I was carrying too much weight, corporate pressure, life pressure, that sort of stuff, and I ended up having a triple bypass.
Whoa.
While I was in hospital, what they have to do while you're on a bypass machine is regulate your blood sugar, otherwise it does something nasty to the bypass machine, which is pretty fundamental. What they did with me was put me on insulin, and I was still on that when I came off bypass. And they were advising me at the time while we were in there, and I'd had the chat with Sue, and I knew the sort of the protocols for it. They were telling me to increase my carb intake to match my insulin dose. And I'm afraid I was telling them, if you excuse me, well, that's bollocks. Anyway, got out of hospital and we went on or I was put on by my good wife here. I suppose we call it a keto carnivore diet.
At that time.
And I lost a shed load of weight and life was good. I was out in early morning sunshine and evening sunshine to get the various scars healed and that sort of stuff.
Taking dressings down as well, which we were told not to do.
Yeah.
He was on amiodarone as well, which is quite a nasty drug post cardiac surgery. And one of the things is they tell you not to go in the sunshine. Well, I kind of stuck fingers up to that and put him in the garden, took his dressings down. We were told not to do that. He's got, you can barely see the scars now.
No. So moving forward, again, I slipped back into corporate life, put a bit of weight on, and then I got my head in the game. Last Christmas, I got a rocket off the doctor because my blood sugar was, in his opinion, unreasonably high. And he was threatening insulin again, so I told him to do one. And I'll see him in 3 months, and I'll be in a far better position. I saw him again at the end of May, and I was 45 pounds lighter, and I'm not diabetic anymore. Although I treat myself as a recovering sort of foodie.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I've got to be honest, I've never felt better. And like Sue, I never tire of eating meat.
No, me neither.
I like to think I'm the king of the carnivores.
Well, it's just great. That's just a fantastic story, Paul. And I'm really glad you shared that. And you guys watching, pay attention. It's about the results. It's not about your preconceived ideas that have been pumped into you by MK Ultra for your entire life. Listen to these people. Now, I did start the show saying that I get, people complain at me when I talk about this subject, but I'm just going to read an email out that I got a few weeks ago, actually, which says, "Hello, hi mate. Just a quick thank you for the challenge last year. I've almost been a carnivore for 12 months now. I look and feel amazing. You saved my life, Mark." Now, it wasn't me, but you are a star. Lots of love, Senior. Hello, Senior. How you doing?
Hello, Mark. Yeah, no, I mean it. You did save my life.
That's why I do the show. I just love it.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
So I joined your challenge, Mark, 1 year ago. On Saturday, I celebrate 1 year of carnivore. And it was a 3 months maximum delight, I think you called it. And I didn't know it was about carnivore. And you didn't tell me that I had to be carnivore. It's just like there's different food options. And then I read that carnivore was probably what would give fast results. And I did not believe in it whatsoever. And it's just like, oh, whatever. I liked your poems. I liked your channel. Been listening to so much stuff. I was like, yeah, okay, there might be aliens, all sorts of stuff.
There are.
And I would believe that, but I would not believe that eating meat would make any difference whatsoever. I was completely brainwashed. I have been raw vegan. I have been eating vegetables, plant-based mostly for so many years that when I actually took the challenge and I had to eat a steak for the first time, I had so many issues around it and I almost vomited. I thought it was disgusting. It had that, dripping from it. And I had help from a chef to know how to actually prepare the steak. But then I had the first bite and I was just like, oh, this is amazing. So I've just been hooked ever since. And yeah, I have lost a lot of weight, but I did not go on a scale, so I don't know how much I have lost, but a lot. And I did not measure myself or anything, but I'm stronger now. I feel stronger than when I was 20, and I have done elite triathlons when I was a young, I was a national champion when I was 16 years old. So I think I was so tired and so weak, and I've just sort of accepted, okay, well, I'm 49 now. It's sort of, that's just part of going older. And
you're still young. What are you talking about?
I know, I feel so young. I mean, look, I have no wrinkles. I am really 49. I use no makeup whatsoever and no filter. I remember Emily asked me, Sini, what's on your Instagram? I want, what's your filter? It's like, I just talk and I just share. And in the beginning, I didn't share too much about it because I usually hang around, spiritual minded people and if I just showed my steak, I would get, you know, what
Well,
is it?
this is what
vegan
That's what I did at the
attacks.
weekend. I did it at the weekend. I went on a magic mushroom retreat, and everybody there was, you know, different levels and stuff, but they were all munching the vegan stuff. And I asked the guy before, I said, "Can I bring my own food? Because I know what it's going to be like." And he said, "No problem." So I had this huge T-bone steak, eggs in butter, slapped it on the table, and everybody went, but there were two, you know, they were like, "What? What? This is a spiritual retreat. What's he doing?" You know. But it was I don't care anymore. I just
Yeah. I'm the same, and I've beginning to notice that more and more people are turning carnivore. And I've heard some Campbell from Australia, from Autodidactic. I think he's been on your program for a long time. Campbell and Kelly, they also had a carnivore experience, and they have a really good session about it, where they are sort of evaluating and thinking, and it's like, yeah, you know, they feel like this might actually be the ascension diet. That's what they call it. And they feel more and more of the master healers, they coming. And that's my experience as well. If I share with my friends and family, you okay.
I'm getting all them.
I have one.
Erections.
Well, it's the master healers, you get it. If you consider yourself a healer and you're watching this program and you haven't had meat for a long time, well, if you're a true lion, if you want to be a fighter and be strong, we are very spiritual minded. We just don't need to hang around in, you know, brain fog and ungrounded. You know, I'm an angel. No, you are a human. You're not a fairy. You're not an angel. You could be from another planet. Yes, but right now we're actually in a physical body, and we need to be strong to carry our soul, or the cosmic suit, as Mark calls it. So we need to eat meat, and we need the fat. And for me, this was a life change. And since it is called the Big Fat Challenge, we need animal fat. I have been confused about fat, eating seed oils and vegetable oils. And Ben, he just completely made it clear to me what to eat and what not to eat. So thank you, Ben. And recently, I tried to be really, really strict on the carnivore, where I only had beef and lamb, salt and water and butter. And that's very, very strict. And it was 15 days. And I was like, okay, now I really need a coffee. I need a break. But I also actually lost my period. And I like having my period. It's very female time. You know, you bleed with the new moon and feeling that cycle. And I texted Emily. It's like, Emily, it's long overdue, and we're the same age. And, you know, it might be your time to sort of wean out. But I was like, no. Then I started eating massive amounts of fat. And we're talking like pork rinds with, you know, this amount of fat. 3 days on 100 grams of pork rinds, and I got my period back. So that was my experience in terms of now I really have profound respect for the fat, not just eating meat. And people ask me, so what do you eat? What do you eat with your meat? And it's like butter. And what else? Salt. That's all we need. But what about vegetables? And it's like, I have not had a vegetable for a year. And no, I'm not going to eat it. Why? I've had plenty. I feel amazing. I want to be strong. I actually just came back from a demonstration here in my local city because they want to, you know, the local politicians, they want to cut down their budget and take money away from our children's day club. And it was like, no, I'm out, you know, front line now. And, you know, I'm a solo mom. It's not like I have so many resources. You know, I'm alone with my daughter. And we moved 500 kilometers away. So our network is not that big yet, but great anyway. So she came along with her mom today for her first demonstration ever. And it was so amazing that people are actually saying, you know, we had enough. We had enough. So that's me. And I'll just say what I ate yesterday. I had 4 eggs for breakfast. It's like, I've never had 4 eggs in one day. It's like, you know, maybe one, you know, what's the cholesterol? And crap, we need eggs. So 4 eggs. I had 300 grams of a Bambi steak, like a reindeer Bambi, whatever. And then I had 400 grams of minced beef, shitload of butter. And the most amazing thing is that I don't have a relationship with food anymore, meaning carbs, veggies, fruit. I don't think about food at all. I just know, what are you having? Well, I'm having meat when I'm hungry, and I eat until I'm stuffed, like really saturated and full. and then I'll eat again. It's not that, oh, it's 5 o'clock, we need to prepare, I need to, quinoa, or have my chickpeas done. It's like, no, just meat. So I feel amazing, and I highly recommend it, especially with Ben and Phil, because I've sort of shopped around different programs, and I'm just on YouTube all day, like 12 hours, listening to all different doctors and stories. But what I really like with Ben and Phil's program here, the Big Fat Challenge, is that they're not fanatic. And I just said, did you just have a beer before, Ben? Or it's like, we're just normal humans, and we have a good time. And yeah, and if you want a beer, you want some brandy, or you want to have a bit of coffee, or I think even if you need your vegetables, if you're addicted to it, or you're not too afraid to give it up, it's not like a Catholic church, or it's just really good people who support each other. So these are some of the best people I've met in my life, and Emily and I were, almost in daily contact, just sharing life. So
I mean, isn't it brilliant? I mean, that makes me so happy, because I've known you for over a year now, and I've known Ben since 2008. 2009, yeah, wow. And Phil, I've only met 18 months ago, but Ben's always over-delivered. Always. It's boring how he over-delivers. He just does a really amazing job. And Phil,
and underpriced as well, Mark.
Yeah, always underpriced. Always. I've been shouting at him for years about this. Phil is just one of the loveliest people you'll ever meet in your life. So I just think that's why I want to support this challenge, because these guys put in. We had a chat last week about it, and I was going, how many calls are you doing a week and how much are you charging? It's ridiculous.
I know. One thing I'd love to say just before just after Sina's talk, thank you so much for that, Sina, but also how amazing Sina's been, because she came on the challenge, and not only has she had great results, and she's been a lot of fun and just great to hang out with, but she's also done a whole section on our challenge with tapping, EFT, emotional freedom, whatever. And there's stuff about getting rid of addictions, and
can you stop me smoking, Senior? Stop me smoking. That's my challenge. That's my big fat challenge,
which is really helpful for people transitioning over to a carnivore diet or whatever. And she's been amazing. So Sina, thank you so much for what you've contributed to it as well. And this is what's so lovely, that we're not like big gurus and egos up the top. Everybody contributes, and we all learn so much out of this. Yeah.
Well, the other thing we have to say is Sina is also now stepping up and being a carnivore influencer in Denmark.
Fantastic.
And people are turning around and saying, can you start talking about this stuff in Danish, because no one's talking about it in
Well, go and do my course, how to monetize what's already in your head, and it will show you how to write a book in 2 weeks. It will show you how to get all the keywords. It will show you how to market all that, and that's what we need. That's why I got told to make that course in the middle of the pandemic, and I didn't understand it at the time, but it was because this is all about finding our voices. This is all about finding the courage to be sovereign in terms of health and wealth and everything else, and spirituality, finding our connection to God, standing up proud and standing up against tyranny. It's just wonderful to see. And also what's wonderful to see is this sense of community. And, it's just a massive privilege. So thank you for sharing all of that, Senior, because that's just brilliant. And go and kick ass in Denmark, for God's sake. The Viking spirit. The flagons of booze and steaks and chicken wings. That's what we should be going back to. Chicken wings. I meant big legs. Anyway, I'm getting lost. I'm going down a cul-de-sac of metaphors, and I need to get back onto the motorway. So let's pull in Ro Statham. Hi, Ro. Just a little muting problem. I did it for you, but then you did it. Don't touch anything. I'll do it. He says, look at this. Professional. Why is it not unmuting? Can't unmute your guests because they chose to mute themselves. Okay. There.
Hello.
Hi. How you doing?
Hi there. Hi, everyone.
Where are you from? Why are you doing the challenge? How long have you been doing it? What are the results?
I was living in Switzerland. I've just relocated back to the UK. I started the challenge in February, And actually, I'd been keto for about keto low carb for about 10 years. But when I started the challenge, it really opened my eyes up to the oxalates. And
yeah, that's the big one, isn't it?
Yeah, for me, it was massive because even though I'd been, I thought I was eating healthy for years. I was, suffering from problems with my skin, and also had a bit bloating as well. So I had psoriasis and spots. And within a month of doing the challenge, I started in February, and within a month, I'd actually lost about 5 centimeters, about 2 inches off my waist. And it wasn't weight that I'd lost, because I was, my weight was, right in the middle of the BMI type thing. It was just the reduction of inflammation. But the improvement in my skin, my hair, my nails, and it was all from, I think the problems were caused by oxalates. And so I've written a course. I've actually written an online course.
Great.
To inspire people to understand what we're putting in and on our bodies and in our minds, because I'm a rapid transformation hypnotherapist. And I had to go and rewrite the course, and also take a lot of videos off of my YouTube about because I was telling people to make this amazing keto bread, which was full of oxalates. It was full of almond flour and chia seeds and all sorts. So
yeah, I've been there. What's your YouTube channel called, Ro?
It's Nosh Rocks.
Oh, I know you.
Yes.
Of course I know you. Have we sold all those tickets for the dinner?
No, I need. I've got 4 left. So.
There's 4 tickets going for the PHA dinner, which is next Friday, the 29th of September, that Ro has. And how do they contact you to get those?
Roanna@noshrocks.com.
Gotcha. Great. I did post
Yeah,
it.
no,
I'll do an email shot as well, Ro.
Okay, thank you.
So sorry we can't get to that. I'd love to have done. I've got a gig in London the next day with the Daz band. I'll be down in London, and it's a shame. I wish I could buy locate. I'd love to.
No, you don't. You're a rock star and you love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Birthday as well.
I'd love to buy locate.
Yeah. Well, I think that's coming, mate. Don't worry. That's coming. So there's Nosh Rocks, your channel.
Yeah.
Everybody watching this, go and give Ro a follow if you can, because it's good to support each other in this world. That's a great story.
Actually, I've been in touch with the local PHA group, and they're thinking of adopting my course and promoting it to their within their network.
Well, I want to get the Big Fat Challenge into the PHA and everything else, but I was talking to Catherine this morning, actually, because I've been really busy because we've had 240 franchise inquiries for our healing center.
Wow, amazing.
We're doing a lot of work right now because I think I want to work in partnership with all these people. But the problem is with something like PHA, and I love the PHA, is that there's a lot of people in there that still think that being vegan is the healthiest thing in the world that you can do. So it's very hard to get a carnivore thing into something like that because it is still so fringe.
Yeah. And also the World Council for Health, I've been trying to sort of work with them to see if they could promote my course, because my course is actually how to be a healthy omnivore. Because I feel, as you said, some people are not quite ready to go down the carnivore route, but it's all just about how to change your eating habits in a very gentle and structured way. And with self-hypnosis meditation for motivation and self-belief. But I've been working with trying to work with various different groups, even the World Obesity Federation, the World Diabetes. I've been approaching them, but I've just hit a bit of a brick wall.
Well, we live in a topsy-turvy world. I mean, I was talking about this the other day. Like the Irish government, for example, brought out a sugar tax, which looks great. It looks like they really care about people's health, but what they're actually doing is making people drink aspartame.
Oh yeah, and that's a neurotoxin.
Yeah, well, it's worse than that. It's pure poison.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add, Ro, before we move on to Karen?
No, I mean, for me, it is life changing. You know, I'm having some sort of, you know, I'm living with friends at the moment, so I'm having to balance it up. So I'm having to eat a little bit of veg, but you know, I'm trying to go for the low oxalate stuff. So it's
you
a
never
bit of a balance.
You never have to eat a vegetable.
Yeah, it's just cultural at the moment.
Yeah,
So.
I know what you mean. Guys, anything to say about that?
Just
Well, I know.
wonderful story.
I think it just illustrates that we're not dogmatic. You know, people have their own path, and
Yeah.
you know, if somebody comes to me with screaming rheumatoid or psoriatic arthritis, yes, it's fatty beef and lamb only, unless you want to stay in pain forever. You have to go that strict to heal the gut. But other people, you know, there's no sort of frowning on it. I mean, we might take the piss a bit if somebody goes on and has a bit of, as Sue calls it, scenery with their food, you know. But it's up to them, you know. And some people don't have to go that strict straight away. But just to be, it's to make your own decision and be aware. Once you understand about plant toxins and what's actually in these vegetables, then it's up to you to make your own mind up whether you want to eat them. I mean, I'm glad to see the back of them. I never liked Brussels sprouts, even before I found out that they have 136 carcinogens in them.
Well, it's obvious when you put one in your bloody mouth.
Yeah,
exactly. I was in a cafe with you in the Lake District, and one morning after a few drinks, and some, was it your daughter or was it Graham's daughter? Somebody was sat there and having something like bread, and you just turned around to them and said, as long as you know exactly what it does to you, go ahead. And that stuck with me, because that one line, because I get, even tonight I made the boys chicken kebabs, and I was looking at they wanted a bit of salad with it and in a wrap, and you know, they are more carnivore than any other kid you'd meet, but they still want to eat certain things. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, that looks quite good, that wrap. And then I just went, and your voice went in my head, and then I just ate the chicken.
Yeah, well,
I've got a good solution for that. I've got a good solution for that. You can make really nice like cheese bread type things with potato starch, and but it's got cheese in it, it's got eggs in it, it's got olive oil in it, so it's got a lot of good fat in it. So just for the occasional treat, if you want like fajitas or things like that, it's a really good recipe.
Sounds like a cookbook's coming next to you.
You can also substitute the lettuce with bacon.
Yep.
Yeah, that is a carnivore vegetable, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we've got a little bit of feedback going on, so if I could just ask everybody to mute, and let's bring on Karen, because she's been waiting patiently. Hello, Karen. Thanks, Ro.
Hiya. I'm having a bit of an audio problem here, but hopefully it's going to be okay.
Sounds good to us.
Yeah, good. I'm using an external speaker, and I didn't know if it would mute or if it would cause hell around. But okay, yeah, good. So working.
Yeah, how you doing? Where are you, Karen?
I'm in Gainsborough, Lincolnshire.
Oh, Lincolnshire, of course it is. Yeah, I know Lincolnshire. Nice to meet you. We've met before, haven't we? Yes, of course we have. Yeah, I reckon.
On a previous roundtable, yeah.
Yeah. So how's it been going then?
Yeah, really, really good. I'm still trying to give up the coffee, but I got a memory on Facebook a while ago that I was trying to give up coffee 13 years ago, so I'm not holding out too much hope just yet.
I'm still trying to give it.
Still good. But yeah, I'm just finding the support of the tribe is really, really amazing. Emily was saying about the meetup. It was just so amazing to actually go and sit with a group of people and feel normal, not feel like you're being judged for what you're eating or looked at funny because you're putting so much fat on your food. And it was just amazing. And I love the whole sort of community atmosphere. And if you've got an issue, you know, you can just pop something in the chat and somebody will come back to you. It's just brilliant. I love it. So much support, because I originally went on carnivore. I started researching it 5 years ago because my best friend got cancer, and I just lost my dad to cancer that had metastasized into the bones, which is what she had. And so I thought, well, we tried the whole vegetarian thing with my dad and it clearly didn't work. So I was looking into other alternatives, and we got onto the carnivore thing, and she's actually now, she was given 6 months to 2 years, and 5.5 years later she's now off all medication. And she spoke to her consultant about her last MRI, and he said there's actually healing happening in the bones where she'd had the tumors. The bones are actually healing. So it's really been amazing. It's really been good progress. So yeah, it's great.
I mean, it's you know, I still want to talk about this subject. I mean, I've been talking about this subject for nearly 2 years now, and because it's been so transformational for me. But I keep hearing stories like this, and how can anybody? I don't know how anybody can watch this and ignore it. It's insane, because I think one of the reasons is obviously the spiritual aspect of the animals. Phil's got the great answer for that. There's more animals killed from veganism than there is from killing animals. Simple as that. And, you know, when I did I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again. When I did a peyote ceremony in a wigwam on a ley line in Glastonbury about 12 years ago, there was a load of people there that I'd also done a fasting retreat with, who'd spent the week telling me that I should only ever consume green juice or vegetable juice, right? That I paid 1,600 quid to not eat for 7 days and get lectured for 3 hours a day on why I should only consume raw vegetables, right? So I got back home and I was a fucking nightmare to live with, because I was going, that's poison, poison, poison. And rightly so, my ex-wife was going to divorce me then, but she delayed it a few years. But the you know, after the peyote ceremony, the chief, the Quality, the chief, we were eating buffalo. We were eating buffalo. And I saw this guy had been lecturing me on raw food, tucking into some buffalo. And I was going, what the fuck are you doing? And he went, oh, it's, Quality's told us it's okay as long as you bless the animal and that with that. And I was like, it's just ancient knowledge, right? And the other thing is the other thing that I get a lot is people saying, well, everybody's different and everybody's got different dietary needs. And I'm like, no, we're one species. We have a species specific diet. And they look at me like I'm crackers, because if you turn around and say there's a species specific diet, how can you go and sell a book on the blood type diet or the left wing diet or the fucking ginger hair diet? I mean, there's so much money in having all these segmented diets that people just.
Mark, we go into this. It comes up all the time. You know, blood type diet. Quickly, if anybody's putting that up in the comments underneath this, animals have varying blood types. There are no lions that eat quinoa and don't eat antelopes, right? They all eat the same diet. If we had different optimal diet, then we'd be the only species on Earth that has that. Now, when everybody's different, they say everybody's different. Now, not really. There is our ancestral diet. Let's not even call it carnivore diet. Let's call it what Dr. Ken Berry calls it, the proper human diet. The basics of it is meat. Every tribe all over the world, 90 to 100% meat, any latitude. They'll eat other stuff, but it's our basic diet. And that is the same for everybody. Some people have better redox potential, can get rid of plant toxins better. The difference comes in with the healing journey, depending on which way they've been broken, what's gone wrong, how long they've been sick, you know, which meds they've been on. So everybody has a different healing journey, and some people can have some hiccups when they're coming back to the carnivore diet, the species-specific human diet. And that's where it's great to be on something like our challenge or the tribe, so that you can ask questions, because a lot of people will have something weird happens in the first month or so, and then they go, oh, I can't do that anymore, and turn back and forget about it. But I think the support is the most important thing of helping people over these little hiccups that can happen and seeing other people go through them. So yeah, we are all different in our healing journey, not in our optimal human diet.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
We'll have always have eaten soft fruits. We'll have always have eaten fungi when we found them. We'll have eaten shellfish. We'll have eaten nuts off trees. You know, and we talk about this a lot in the solar cycle, and how at this time of year, like the end of the summer and the autumn, you get all the nuts, you get the soft fruits. We'd have filled our faces, and that soft fruit gives you an insulin spike, and the extra fats in the nuts and whatever you'd store. It would help you store fat to survive the winter, which is extremely important. But then you'd have the whole winter to pee it all away again. right? And you detox over the winter. Now, the problem now, like Phil's saying, people are shoving their face with grains multiple times a day. We're drinking soda that's sweetened with high fructose corn syrup that your body can't metabolize, you know?
I read, Ben, you're like
oils, right? So, I mean, the point is that your body can detox from a lot of these things. It's incredibly good. It's just completely overwhelmed. So people are damaged. And then when people come to the Big Fat Challenge or whatever, they start their healing journey, everyone's coming from a different place. The baseline way of eating that works for everybody is the same, right? But, you know, it depends how much you can handle of these stresses.
Wait, what's the website, Ben?
www.thebigfatchallenge.com.
Thebigfatchallenge.com. You guys watching this, the carnivore diet works whether you like it or not. If you've got any issues, just give it a try. Take the challenge, give it a try. If you don't like it, they'll give you your money back anyway. They're not greedy at all. They are doing this out of passion and the desire to serve and help humanity, which is what all of us are hopefully trying to do right now. I really appreciate all of you coming. We've run out of time. It's lovely to see you all, some old friends and some new ones. And guys, Ben, if you could all send any links to any channels that you've got with your name, and then this is my Insta, this is my YouTube, etc. Send them all to Ben. If you could send me one list, Ben, I'll put them under the video. So, and the link to the Big Fat Challenge is going to be under the video as well. Give it a go. Thanks, guys.
Mark, thank you. Thanks, everyone.